And I was like, I should probably film a video again. I was like, nah. And then when I was filming it at first, all you hear is like the sirens, and I was like, I'm just trying to film a video, and all y'all doing is making noise in the background, and now I can't film my video anymore. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But no, I've been trying to keep up with it because I still like doing film, but it's hard to document a transition because like I gotta remember I'm in the transition, and that means I don't have to plan it out. And that means I don't have to be like, I'm about to be 1 month or 2 months this or 3 months this. Let me like remember to document this. I'm like, that's too much work. I'm not doing it like so my name's Addison. I'm 18 years old. I use they them pronouns. And I go to Paul International High School.
What was it like being back at school after surgery?
So I had went back a week too early the first time, and I had gotten my drains out like a week before, and I was still kind of hunched over like that. And then I couldn't have my book bag on. I couldn't write on the desk. I was like, this is uncomfortable. It feels like everything is tugging. I don't like this feeling. I want to go home. So then that first day I was like, okay, another week, I'm back at school. I went back the next week. Felt like I didn't even come out of, I did not feel the same at all. I was just struggling to stand up straight. Now I'm just like, hey guys, how's it going? And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. I'm just like walking in the hallways with my book bag on, like, look at this. I'm this all, I don't want to, like, it's all flat now and can wear a book bag. It's not all awkward. And so it's kind of like, it felt no different than before. A lot of people didn't even think I had surgery because I was binding for so long. They were just like, you had surgery? I was like, yes, I did. You'll find out at the beach or when it's too hot. That's when you'll find out. But outside of that, I'm not going to sit here and like flash my chest. The only thing that was weird was people wanted to see. So they were like, can you like show us? I was like, you can see the pictures I took, but I'm not about to just flip up the shirt right here and now. And then it was,
Are you out at school?
Yes and no. I'm out and people know I'm trans, but people forget I'm trans. So then I just don't remind them, and then it's kind of just like that. Though people would be like, "You're trans." I'm like, "Yes," but to everyone else, I'm still a girl, and they use she/her pronouns for me. Like they know I'm transitioning, at least medically, but they just don't want to change how they address me, really. Like, people will be like, what do you prefer? And I'll tell them what I prefer. And they'll be like, okay. And then they never use the pronouns. So then I started just being like, just use he, him pronouns. And then I was like, it's too much. So the only people who use they, them pronouns are my really close friends and people who understand how to use they, them pronouns. That's like literally it, which is frustrating because then when I'm in school or like as I continue to transition, what if I'm in public and this person misgenders me and I look really masculine? They're gonna be like, what? That's my safety a little bit. And I'm like, I like my safety.
So what's it like being, I mean, you talked about it a little bit. These are pretty.
They were really pretty.
You talked about it a little bit, like, what it's like, Cordy, what it's like being trans, puppy. What it's like being trans at school. Do you think that, what's it, as far as the administration and staff, what's your experience of them? How's that been as a trans person?
So, I can't expect everyone to understand trans people, so it's been challenging in the sense of educating everyone. Because a lot of the adults, they know I use they, them pronouns. My principal, actually, she knows, and she'll mess up. She'll be like, I meant they, them. And I'm like, you're trying, so it's the effort to me that counts. But when I had surgery, they were understanding completely. The assistant principal even called me up during recovery like, hey, you okay? Because you weren't looking too good when you came back. Just want to make sure everything's going okay. Like, I've been asked uncomfortable questions, like about genitalia or about like what I'm gonna do with hormones or what I'm gonna do with surgery, and I'm like, not telling you that. That's uncomfortable. But they're so cute. They're pretty accepting, like kind of gendered. So, for example, like boys will have to wear, I think boys are wearing blue for our graduation, girls are wearing yellow. And for our senior pictures, girls wear the drapes, guys wear the tuxes. So I was like, I don't want to wear the drape, I'm wearing the tux. They were like, okay, I don't know why you told us, but okay. And then for graduation, they already had put me down for blue before they even asked me, because they know I identify more on the masculine side. So they were like, which one would you feel comfortable being grouped in is the bigger question, because I know they did it by gender. So they take me into thought when it comes to things when it involves gender, which is nice, but it's still weird because I still don't get, like, pronouns are the biggest thing that people struggle with. So I've been just telling people at school to use he, him pronouns to make it easier, because I'm like, it's better than she, her, because I'm definitely not a girl. So I'm just like, you can just use they, them. And they're like, no, I can't. And so then I'm like, he, him is also fine now. But usually I just tell people they, them when I first meet them.
Ask you. So for you, what does Black Trans Futurism look like?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I gotta think. So I feel like both of those identities for me are like really strongly related. Like I can't take them apart. So I guess especially in my own community, seeing more acceptance, because I feel like as a Black trans person, like it's a completely different experience, because it's not just educating kind of an outside world, I'm educating my own world. This is a really hard question to think about. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I guess for me, my family is really heavily like into religion, and so for them they tie being Black to being religious. So, which is really weird for me because they don't agree with me being trans, or to them I'm out as gay. So I definitely haven't come out as being trans, because I'm like, they already didn't accept me for being gay. So I was like, yeah, I'm not about to screw that up anymore. So it'd be, I guess, having more acceptance and being able to kind of, for it not to like ruin a family, or for it to ruin relationships just because of an identity. Because I feel like you still know me as the same person before. The only thing that's probably different is what you call me and how I look. And even then, that might not change for everyone. So it's kind of just more acceptance, because that's the only things I've struggled with, is people being accepting and understanding. Wow. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.